Hi, this is your friend Han here, and it is great to see you here tonight. And tonight was something for my list builder friends, and I said over and over again, whenever you start internet marketing, the number one activity you need to do every single day is build your list, right? Well, one of the fastest way to build a list is solo ads, through solo ads, which we don't hear too much about, kind of because it's kind of almost like a secret underground community for people, trade solo ads. And today I'm very excited to introduce to you a another brand new product. It's called the Solo Ad Rolodex. You can see over here um, by Dave Eisner, and he's been well known solo ads marketers throughout the years. So not only he has the IM niche Rolodex here, he also has the non-IM niche Rolodex. So why do you need solo ads? Solo ads is probably most targeted and fastest way to get your business going, to get your list going, and you definitely need to know the vendor. You need to know how they started with the list. Where did they get their list built, and what is their list interesting in? So you really can build a very very targeted list with very minimum investment when you're starting out. But the more money you put in, the more basically the more leads you're gonna get. And if you do email marketing right, you can make all that back, in a couple of days. So happen to grab Dave right now on the interview, audios only, and talked about solo ads. We chat about solo ads, and you're gonna learn a lot of things out of it. So what is a solo ads, and what should you even get started? But Dave has a very interesting story you need to listen to, and I found it's kind of like a classic American story here. So anyway, be sure to watch the interview and look out for my email tomorrow, and I am gonna offer you guys some bonuses again. And yes, if you don't have a list yet, you need build your list starting today. I'm not kidding. So you're gonna thank me later for that. So build your list, and solo ads just one of the way to do it. And if you want to learn more about solo ads, watch the interview. This is your friend Han. Keep you smiling. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Cheers. Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend Ham again. It is great to see you here today. And today, for the very, very first time, I happen to get Dave here, who is the expert on solo ads, to share some insider solo ad secrets here during the interview. And at the end of the interview, he's going to share one of his awesome product, which he's going to launching tomorrow. It is one of a kind, and actually, I'm going to just let him go into at doing the interview. And before we get into the interview, let's kind of learn who Dave is and how he got started with the internet marketing. But most importantly, what exactly he did to achieve a level of success he has today. So David, could you kind of take over the mic, kind of share your unique internet marketing story with us today?
Hey, Ann, thanks for having me on this interview and sharing this with your people. Absolutely will tell you about my story. I was kind of like poor and didn't have anywhere to go, and I was living in my mom's basement.
Wow.
I just kind of ended up there and got trapped, so to speak, and then I had just gotten fired from the job that, she just wanted me to go out there and find a job, and I finally got a job, and like 3 to 4 weeks later I got fired. Because I'll tell you honestly, I'm not a very good server, restaurant server.
Right.
I'm much better at, working for myself, my own schedule, and I just knew all that stuff. And anyway, while she thought I was looking for another job, I was actually in my basement working 12 hours a day, just trying to figure out exactly what people were doing to make money on the internet. And then I finally cracked the code, and a couple, I made I put up my first product, made my first couple of sales. I remember I worked I wrote all day for like 4 days straight to make my first product.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know anything about writing a sales letter. I just like, this is what I got, and then on that first day I made 3 sales, and I was like, oh crap, I really wanted to make 300.
I think that goes to all of us.
What's that?
I think that happens to all of us.
Yeah, well, you know what? I persevered and I ended up making 400 sales in that product eventually.
Uh-huh.
And, started to make a couple $1,000s. And, once I was making like $2,000-3,000 a month, I was like, okay, I'm out of here. And after that, I just kind of kept doing more of what I was doing and, meeting more people and ultimately, creating a brand and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
creating this product.
Yeah, when you like, obviously you probably are looking for different stuff. It probably hasn't worked for you just quite a bit the way you wanted yet. What was that one thing that kept you going? Keep trying to figure things out. I mean, 12 hours a day, trying to figure it out.
Well, I had a huge reason why.
Uh-huh.
And, because I hated living with my mom. Like, I'm not saying that I was 25 years old, so I had already been living on my own for like 7 years.
Okay.
And, I had just gotten into this rut and we don't get along all that well. And, the way that her basement is set up, it's actually just like this tiny little room without any windows or vents. So it's just like this closed-in box, and when people walk above you, you can just hear the slamming. Like, she wears these high heels and these boots, and just hear the slamming, and it's just so loud. And I just had this huge reason, and I'm in this town where, that I grew up in. I didn't have any friends really because they had all moved away, and I just I had to get out of there. So to me, it was like, I will do whatever it takes. I knew other people were doing it, and that's all you really need to know. There are other people doing it. So I was like, well, if they're doing it, how can I do it? And then I just figured out a way to create value in the space.
Right. It's the one that doesn't give up and keep moving, and it's just a matter of time before they kind of find a niche or something that make the magic happen.
Right.
So let's talk about solo ads a little bit here. First of all, why does people need even look into solo ads with all kinds of different internet marketing stuff going on there, like building affiliate sites and building a list and all kinds of other stuff you can do, medium buys, all that stuff. Why solo ads?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that you absolutely need this or you won't be successful. But what I will tell you is that I know so many, hundreds of successful internet entrepreneurs who have used solo ads and continue to use them and won't stop using them because over the years have just been just a cash cow for them. And there are so many good benefits to using solo ads. Was the reason, just to kind of continue my story a little bit,
right?
The reason I got into them was because I had learned about swaps once I had built up a list.
Right, yeah.
And so I started doing ad swapping, and and I thought to myself, I was like, well, nobody told me about solo ads. I kind of just stumbled upon them myself. Because I was saying, well, why do I need to be sending back traffic to somebody? Like, that's holding up my list. I don't really like these offers all that much that I'm sending out. I want to be sending out higher quality stuff. I want to be sending out paid offers. So I don't really want to be sending out free offers. I wonder if I can just give that person the same value to send me over. Like, if I give him $50 or something like that for traffic, will he just send me the traffic? And it turns out he would, and that turned out to be a solo ad. So instead of me compensating him with traffic, I compensated him with dollars, and it was just pretty much the same thing. But back then, there were only a couple of people selling solo ads, and it really wasn't a standardized industry at all. So it was a lot. I had my trial runs with it. Believe me, I got. I found a couple of people who really weren't delivering good traffic at all. I realized what was acceptable and what wasn't, and just kind of helped form the industry. But what's really great about them is that it's email traffic, and email traffic is some of the best converting traffic there is because people already see the ad. And they decide based on the ad whether or not they want to go to the page and check it out further. So they've already completed one step by clicking on the link. It's kind of like, Well, you're pre-qualifying them already, and if you're building a list, it's really great because those people are already predisposed to read their emails and click on links, right? And that's exactly what you want your people to do. And then also, it's just super easy to set up. I could literally have a solo ad set up in 5 to 10 minutes from now. And that's finding the vendor, giving them money, giving them a link, giving them swipe, all of that stuff. I could have that done, within the next 10 minutes, and then that could be up to, most people don't sell more than like 2,000 or 3,000 clicks. There are some, but the average solo ad size, I would say, is somewhere around 500 clicks.
Right.
And that's a decent amount of traffic. I mean, here's the other thing, it converts really well, right? So if you get 500 clicks and your page is halfway decent, you can expect, somewhere around 200 opt-ins. Right, and you could be higher, could be lower, but that's pretty good right there. I mean, you could spend $200 and get 200 opt-ins within the next even day or two. So the traffic is easy to find. As long as you have my Rolodex, quite honestly. Right. It's easy to set up, and it's fast, it's high converting. That's what else could you really ask from a traffic source?
Right. Well, is it correct to say kind of solo ads community is kind of like almost like an underground, like closed kind of community? Only people are into that stuff, knows about the Skype room, the Facebook group, stuff like that, or because you say that it took you a while to realize there is such community exist.
Well, when I started, there wasn't really much of a community. It's not like I was realizing, it's like we were building it. So like I know that people have been using them for years, but it kind of really changed over the last 2 years. And like just people just popping up out of nowhere being like, okay, yeah, I'm a solo ad seller now. And the thing is that everybody wanted to be in my Skype room at first. Right. Because I built this Skype room so that I could take all of these solo ad sellers, and literally it was like 15 or 20 of them at the time, and put them into a room so that I could just put a post up and say, hey, I need a solo ad. And then I took a bunch of my friends and I put them in the room and I said, hey, you can buy solo ads from these people. And, and the room just blew up. And there's a limitation on Skype rooms. Right. If there wasn't a limitation, that room would have like a couple thousand people in it right now. Because I get asked like almost a couple times a week, I'd say a couple times a week to be in the room. And I'm saying, well, and this is for the past couple of years, so sorry, it's full. So I had to fill that need of people who wanted to be in the room. They didn't know where else to get the solo ads, so I made the Rolodex.
Okay.
And the Rolodex is not, not everybody in the Rolodex, not even close now, is in my room. And the thing is that, what was I trying to say? I kind of lost my train of thought there a little bit, but people don't need to be in the room now. Right. They can get instant access, and they don't have to limit themselves to the people who are in the room. They get instant access to like 150 vendors. They've got all their contact information, and now people have sales pages. It's like I got over 100 sales pages in there now. You can just go take a look at people's testimonials, and you can see their prices right away. It's really amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk about like somebody just like the first time buyers for solo ads. What are the things they need looking for, especially when it comes to interview the vendors? What kind of type of question would you ask when you trying to approach somebody trying to buy solo ads?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest, and all of that stuff, I cover it in detail in the upsell to the product. Okay. And I don't want to get too deep into it because there's a lot. Okay. And I want to make sure I don't miss anything, so that I'm comprehensive and that people don't make, the mistakes that I made when I started. Okay, that's fair enough. So, what's the, I guess
what is the, when you have that many people you can contact, what is the best way to sell solo ads? Can you kind of talk about a little bit about that too? If you have a list and you want to sell solo ads, what's the best way to start?
Well, I'm not a solo ad seller, so I wouldn't be the premier expert on that. I would say that if you built a list of freebie seekers, and you segmented your buyers and you got your buyers removed, and after you've tried to have those people become buyers, and you still have some clicks left over from freebie seekers, what you'll want to do is you want to harness the power of that list and monetize it through clicks, and then all you have to do are find buyers, and that really takes either getting into the Rolodex on the next time around, or just getting into Skype rooms and Facebook groups and finding buyers. And what I would say is, if you could hook yourself up with a coach who sells solo ads, that would probably be the best thing.
Okay, that's great. So let's talk about this product of yours right now. Let's talk about the time of the launch, name of the product, and who's going to be really benefited by purchasing this, and and talk about why it's important to have the Rolodex that you have.
Well, the launch is tomorrow. So Tuesday, May 28th. 11 a.m. Eastern time. And why is it important to have the Rolodex? Well, at this point I think people know whether or not they need traffic. And the Rolodex is not a fix-it-all for your life. It's not going to necessarily make you rich. It's only one half of the internet marketing equation, right? Traffic plus conversion equals profits, right?
Right.
So yeah, I don't talk anything about conversions at all in the front end product. I talk a little bit about it I talk quite a bit about it in the
TO or
in the first upsell. Or the OTO, whatever you want to call it. And basically, you will have an amazing resource at your fingertips. Even if you don't want to get it, even if you don't want to buy solo ads now, or you're not ready right now, it's still a great time to get it, because, during the launch period, there's a 75% discount, and there's, I put so much value into that front end product. It's literally the best product I've ever put together. I wrote 2 new reports, one that talks about tools, and I know everybody is interested about tools because I get asked about it all the time, and I'm a huge tools geek. And when it comes to software and stuff for internet marketing, I try everything. I talk to people about tools all the time. So I figured, if I could write a little report about this, and little turned out to be like, 15 pages single spaced or whatever, but it's a really good report and it's huge value. And then I also wrote a report that gives 7 of my best traffic sources, and yes, solo ads is one of them, but this report is amazing. Will blow you away. Just so many dirt cheap traffic sources. That report alone, you will never have to look for traffic again if you don't want to. It doesn't matter what niche you're in, you'll be blown away by what you can, how much traffic you can get there and for how cheap.
So let's kind of recap the front end offer. So it's the Rolodex plus those 2 reports.
Well, there's more.
There's more, right? Yeah.
Oh, well, I just wanted to say, I did write those 2 reports. They are new. Here's what I want everybody to know. I went out and I wanted to really make this an absolute no-brainer for anybody who even thought about doing a solo ad. I got over 25 people, and I think it's around 30 people now, to agree to give a 10% discount to first-time buyers of the people who came from the Rolodex. So, if you're so all you need to do is get the Rolodex, and you'll see all of the people who have agreed to give you a 10% discount on your first purchase.
Oh, great.
So you can literally, and I did the math on the sales page. Basically, if you if an average solo ad buy is $250, and there are 25 vendors, okay, so that costs about $6,250 to get 25 solo ads at $250, okay? 10% off that, you would save $625. Now, since the price of the product is $9.95, it's pretty much a no-brainer, right?
Yep.
So that's really cool. I've also got a training webinar in solo ads and a great interview from a guy who's making 7 figures right now and uses solo ads almost exclusively in his business. So and I shouldn't tell you about this, but there are like some unannounced bonuses on the down page as well. So they're not exactly unannounced in this interview, but the value of the front end product will absolutely blow you away.
Okay, so let's talk about the OTO a little bit here, and well, who should be getting the OTO?
Anybody who has never bought a solo ad before.
Okay.
It's that person and anybody who wants to make sure that they've got everything covered.
Okay.
So there's a lot of great information in the first upsell. For example, there's a whole video on how the industry works, what questions you should ask, the stuff that you were asking me before, to make sure that you don't get scammed, and you know who's trustworthy, and who's selling good traffic and stuff like that. There's also a whole thing about sales funnels and how to optimize solo ads and get your money back for it. There's a couple of interviews from a guy named John Cornetta that I did that sold thousands of copies, and people just absolutely loved it. Some people saying the best list building information they've ever heard before, and it's an enormously valuable product. Has less than I think in between a 3 and 4% refund rate, which is really good, and I think people will get a tremendous amount of value from it, especially if they're kind of new or they haven't bought a solo ad before.
Awesome. And what is the starting out price for that?
It's gonna be on a rising price. I think it's around $35 or $36, something like that.
Cool.
It's well worth it. I mean, if you do the things that I tell you to do in the products, or what John says to do, you can make that investment back 100-fold, and not only that, it will protect you from losing your money needlessly, and you can lose far more money than that needlessly on just one solo ad buy if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So it's really important people just take the time and energy to learn the training real quick. It's not a long training, but it's very valuable.
Awesome. So I think I got all the questions I need to ask you here. Do you have any final words before we leave here today?
Well, yeah. Well, there are other offers that I'm going to be making in the funnel. If they want to wait until they look at them, that's fine. We don't have to talk about them now, but there are other offers to make them.
Why don't you kind of briefly talk about that a little bit, since we're already here?
Well, I wanted to really make it so that people would be as successful as they could be right off the bat. And one of the things that people need when they're driving traffic from solo ads is a high converting landing page. And I partnered up with a guy named Emka, a friend of mine, and he created a software called Map Squeezer, and it's a super cool plugin that when people hit your page, it shows them a Google map of where they are in the background. And there's also this call out feature that also has these things where it can just kind of pop up and really get people's attention. You'll see all about it on the page, but it's really a wonderful software, because even there was this woman, he had a student who had never used WordPress before, okay, and she put the plugin on her. He taught her how to set up WordPress. She put it on her first try. She got a 57% opt-in rate on her page from some solo ads.
Wow, that's pretty high.
It's really high, especially for a first timer. So I kind of wanted to make it a no-brainer for people. I'm going to sit here and say that you'll absolutely will get that high of a opt-in rate, but it seems that these pages just have generally a higher chance of getting a very high opt-in rate. So we wanted to give people right off the bat an opportunity to do that, and just get those really high opt-in rates, and also a way to make these pages so that they can sell them for profit right away, so they can make money to buy their solo ads.
So do you think it's maybe perhaps the design that makes that high conversion rate, and you guys test it? Or
yeah, it probably has something to do with the novelty of it.
Okay.
Or the surprise factor.
Okay.
I can't say exactly why it converts so much better, but when I remember when I saw it for the first time, I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" Like, the power of that is really great, because you can actually say, if you're even if you're using Facebook traffic or something like that, you can actually get really targeted to somebody's city, right? So let's say you're just targeting people in Los Angeles, you could say, looking for X and X in Los Angeles. It's got a map of Los Angeles behind them, and you've already got the city targeting going on. But even better, if you weren't doing targeting on Facebook, you could still say, this is available in this city, this or this country, So there's a lot of options that you can do there to personalize it, and I think the shock factor really gets people.
Oh, awesome. Is there anything else you want to talk about that maybe we left out here other than that plugin?
They'll also have an opportunity to get some of the hottest information. I'm doing an interview series called Internet Marketing Rising Stars, and it's just a huge, what I decided was that people really wanted the hottest information so that they can stay on the cutting edge. And so I'm doing an interview series with some very, very successful people who are using some of the new technologies in our space. So it's not directly related to solo ads in any way, but basically it's just about learning a new technique and a new tool, or whatever is the cutting edge technology or the hot topic, and getting people right there at the forefront so they can make the most money and stay ahead of the curve, so people can have an opportunity to hop in on that too. It's a really special product. I just put it together. So that's pretty much it, man. I mean, there's a lot there, but my intention was to really give people everything that they needed and get them going as fast as possible so that they can make a profit and do what I did, just achieve their goals and dreams and travel the world, I don't know. That was what I wanted to do. So, and I did it.
And then move out of your mom's basement, right?
Ultimately, I wanted to move out of my mom's basement, but 3 months after I did that, I actually went to Europe for 3 months, and just traveled around. I came back with 3 times as much money as I left with. So there, shoot for the stars. You can make more money than you even dream of.
Yeah, that's the beauty part about internet marketing. You can work anywhere you want.
That's right.
All right, Dave, thank you so much for spending time with us today, and especially awesome tips on the solo ads. And for those who still watching right now, I am going to offer you guys some awesome bonus again. Just kind of looking out for my email tomorrow. And David, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Hen.
All right, thank you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.